Okay, so this ABC we have followed yesterday, and after that, what was happening is it was printing in the browser based on all three we have seen. It can be user defined, parent tag, or predefined parent tag. Now, from here onwards, we will be creating a component and we will be linking with the main application, and we'll see how it is going to work and how we can create our own component. Okay, it's like a function. Component is a function. We have two type of component. One we have using the class concept, another one using we have as a function concept. So both we are going to follow one by one. Okay, so you are till here. So let's go to the developer guide. We will write a small 2-3 line of description about a component, and then after that we can create example. Component in React.js. Component in React.js. Okay. Component in React.js. As of now, if you look into this file, app.js file, you can see there is a function called app. App.js. App.js is a file. Inside there is a function called app. So this app function will be called as a component. So what it holds inside? Inside it is holding the JavaScript code, as well as it is function itself is a JavaScript, and it is holding the HTML code, okay, in the form of JSX. Now same thing we will write under the nodes called component. Component in React is just like is a function in JavaScript. The component of React.js is like function in JavaScript. Component in React.js is just like a function in JavaScript. It has it will be combination of HTML and JavaScript code based on JSX rule regulation. Next line I can write React.js component is a reusable. React.js component can be reused. Now, how we are saying we can reuse? Because the component is nothing but is a function, and function definitely we have used already in JavaScript. So that we can say React.js component also can be reused. React.js component can be reused. Come down. You will write here React.js component, React.js component is of two types. Two types. What are that? One is based on, one is called class component based on class object. Second one is function component based on JavaScript function and hooks methods. Okay, based on JavaScript function and hooks methods. Okay, now let us see the examples. First, we'll see through the function component. Then after that, we'll guide you using the class component. Functional component is the most important part now because your hooks redux are based on function component. We will spend point time on both, even in functional component as well as in class component, not mix of both together, separate. Okay. Now let's go ahead next. Come to the our DS code now. So hope you have written this. Like this, lot of definitions are available on internet. The words they have used different words, but exactly what everyone wants to say, in React, when we are creating the files, it can be individual file also, or it can be function based also. In one file, maybe you can write one function, or maybe in one file you can write multiple function, and one function will work like as a page, it will work like as a component. Inside that, HTML, JavaScript, everything can be inside. Here again, the creation of the component in React, you can divide into two types, based on class object and based on function. Based on function, if you are doing, it's called a functional component. There we have to use some hooks function, hooks method. If you are using the class based, we have to use again class component methods, lifecycle methods. Okay, so we will be following all one by one. Let's go next then. Hope your page is compiled and you can see some related output in your browser. Localhost 3000. This is the page what we have made yesterday. It was giving working. One line we have written. Okay, so under the React SRC public folder, under the public folder, create a file called under the public folder, create one more folder, not file. Under the public folder, create one more folder called basic. Basic folder is going to guide us how to create a component, how to link with the main file, how to set up the routing, and according to user click, how to load the pages. Other things. Next building. In basic folder, we will be learning what are the points, creation of the component, linking with the main file, applying the CSS, using the map function, using the array functions under the basic folder. So let's go to the basic folder, create a file, give the file name called maybe user.js. Create a file user.js in basic folder. User.js will be is just a function, fat arrow function, or maybe you can write plain function also. Write a function my user export default my user okay, export default my user, because my user function we are going to use in some other file. My user function you are not going to use here only in the same file, you are going to use in some other file. Okay, so if you want to use in some other file, definitely we have to use the we have to use the export part. Using export only, we will be exporting the function so that some other function, other page can import it and they can use the function. If will not do the export, other function may not use it. So let's go here. Write call return. Return statements specify whichever the functionality you want to write in this page, in this particular component, it must be inside the return, because whoever will call the function, they will get a return value, the content of this function. Wherever we'll call the function, wherever we call the function, there will get a return value there will get a return value, the content of this function. Suppose for example a division, open close, write inside h1 user list, inside come down, use a paragraph. This is from user component. This is from user component. This is from user component. Okay, now save the file. Hope everyone should try it. Okay. If the function is ready, let's come to the app.js file. In app.js file, we will import that file. Not will import the file, will import the function. So my user is the function. We are already showing here called export. That meaning other place we can import the my user function. We can go here in the app file. In beginning, we can write here called import my user import my user from dot slash basic slash user.js file. Please import this line. After importing, come down here and come down here inside the ABC only and follow their call my user function. You will ask why we are calling the function like this. You can see here. It's called a JSX element now. My user. I'll write below. In JavaScript, if you want to call a function, you call like this. Like suppose my user is a function. If you want to call somewhere, you will call like this in JavaScript. In JavaScript. But same my user function, if you want to call through the JSX, you have to write like this in React JSX. Just like the independent tag, like BR and HR, how we write, IMG tag, how we write. So it will become the element. My user will become as a element. So we imported here in the top. Why we are importing? Because we want to use here. What we are importing? A function that is called a component. From which file? From the basic folder, there is a file called user.js. If you want, you can write here .js also. So it is called import function name from file name. Let me write here. Import function name from file name. Import function name from file name. Import function name from the file name. Hope ready. Save the file. Let's look into the browser. You will find here user should work. Let me reload my page once. It should display here user is working. You can see here this is coming from the main component and this is coming from the user component. If you can let me know for how many people it works, will be helpful to track you. Check once because if you write it, it's helpful for you because React will not be little simple. It will be complex only, but if you keep habit of writing from beginning, it will be well experienced. After a few days, you will not feel why I am writing this because your hand will be well experienced in that. Okay, so suggestion will be we should write it. Suggestion will be we should write it. Only for 4 people. See, it is not difficult task. It's easy only. You created a component separate file. Inside the component, we wrote something. Then that component we are calling under the other component as app.js file. App.js file was already dealing with the main component, so it should not be the big problem for you. Okay, let's go ahead. We will create one more component. Okay, some 3-4 component will create. Will get very good idea. So next task is create one more component under the basic folder. Create one more file. Give the file name called book.js. 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 Right? Book.js. Again, right here. This we will write based on fat arrow function. Const we have to write before every component name. My book equal to this is called fat arrow function of a React. In JavaScript hooks functional component, mostly you are going to use this method. Okay, next after that, return should be there. Under the return, again you have to follow the JSX rule. The right may be any H1 tag, book list, keep below paragraph, book is function based component. Book is function based component. Book is function based component. Now come down below, export default my book. Okay, export default my book. Save this. Then again we have to come to the app.js file. Okay, so ready. Save the file. After that, come to the app.js file, and again you will import here. Import my book. Suggestion will come, you can select, and after selecting that, the name of the component you can call here my book. Book working. Please check once in the browser. See here, book list is also coming. User list, book list, all three. Yes, no. Next, after this, we will create some more component, and then we'll see how to use the variables. How to create the variable, how to print that, like making dynamic section simply. So I will create one more component, then we'll do something. Let's create the next file, product.js. Create the next file, product.js. Another component within the basic folder. Product.js inside the basic folder. Product.js will have import, not import directly, you can write const product list equal to fat arrow method. Fat arrow you can use right here for the return. A division h1 product list. Next, after that, the product is working. The product is working. So pretty, you have to do below export default as well. Product list.
Hello.
Hello.
So this is the function component, right?
Functional component.
Okay.
In functional component also you are creating a static functions without any variable. Okay, hope ready. Come to the app.js file and import again book list, not book list, product list. Product list. From dot slash basic slash product. Okay, hope ready. Next, after that, the product list component again you have to call here. Save that. Check again. So all the components are working. Now next we are going to see. Next we are going to see inside the React how to print any statement in JSX. So first we will start from the user component, or maybe start from the last component which we have created product. Anywhere. Let's come inside the function and create a variable, constant variable called item equal to a square bracket. Why we use a const keyword here? Because everywhere your function will also call like a variable. Variable will also call like a variable. So there will be plus there is a import export activity calling one component to other component. So in this case, what is the possibility is there is a possibility of conflict of a variable. There is a possibility of variable conflict, function conflict. Okay, so option is okay. Why can't we do something where if the variable get conflict also, it should not mismatch the value. The variable get conflict also, it should not miss the value, it should not mix the value. So people use the const keyword, C-O-N-S-T, const keyword. The const keyword will say, if your two variables are similar also, number one, it will not allow to create a similar variable, and number two, if it will not allow to create similar variable, there will not be mismatch of the values. Const keyword says your value will be fixed always. You cannot change it directly. We have option. We can change the value of a constant variable also using the hooks function. But now just we are practicing on, okay, how to create a variable and how to call it. Let's keep inside some
Hello.
name.
So if we are using the var, so the values are conflict.
If two variable will be with the same name, then value will be conflict or not. Suppose item two times if I create, what will happen? The first variable will lose the value of its own. It will hold the second variable. Now suppose this is one item. If I create here one more item, right? Suppose if I follow you using a var keyword, I created an item here. Again, I create one more var item only. Item equal to Mumbai. Now, what will be the value of item? What will be the value of item at last? The value of item will be what? Reply once. Mumbai or keyboard mouse? Hmm? Any
Mumbai.
Even with
Hmm.
const also this will happen.
no, without constant I'm talking. If I use var keyword here, what will happen? Item will hold the first value or second value. No idea.
Mumbai, sir.
Avoid that problem. Only one line is there. What is that? Const. Const
Const.
will not allow to
Const.
change the value. Const will not allow to create a
The
similar.
repetitions.
Okay, number one. Number two, if you are not able to create the similar variable, what will happen? Definitely value will not conflict. Value will not get override. Okay. Next after that, write here something. Items. Now come down below. And in React, how to print the variable? You may have seen already on W3 here, there, plus U2. Simple. Flower bracket open and close. The meaning of this flower bracket open and close is curly bracket. The opening of the curly bracket represent, the open curly bracket represent starting of a script, and end of curly bracket represent end of the script. So between a script to a script, you can write any line of JavaScript, it will work. So here assume like a script is start, a script is end. Now between both the script open and close, you are going to write array.length, array.length, item.length. Array.length, item.length. Right. Next after that, check once what is going to come. Is it coming something? If you come to the browser, it will show the length of the product. How many elements you have inside the array. Now to print all the elements from the array, you can print here one by one also you can print, or you can use the map method. Item of 0 if you give, it print the first element of the array. Item of first will print to the, item of 0 will print to the 0 position element of your array. Zero position of your array. Now let us check in the browser. Is it printing? Mouse is coming here. So only mouse is printing. It's not printing remaining items. Now to print the remaining items, since the items are available inside the array, list of the values what you have, it is inside the form, inside the variable, and that variable is the array. So to read the data from array, in React, what option we have? Okay, to read the data from array in React, we have an option called map function. It's called the list function in JavaScript. Okay, it is called a listing function in JavaScript. That map function is associated with the JSX. Map function is going to work with the JSX. So map function will be suitable for single dimensional array, multi-dimensional array, nested array, and array inside array. Nested array is that only array inside array. It is suitable for all types of data if it is coming in the form of array. Now at this place, I will start the curly bracket and end it because we want to write the JavaScript code here. We want to write here map function. That is from where? From the JavaScript. Now a structure of the map function, if you remember from JavaScript, it's like this. Array.map. Array.map. So what it will do? From the array, individual element. So the map function will start calling itself the number of element you have inside the array. So inside the array we have, assume now 4 elements. Map function is going to call total 4 times. Map function is going to call total 4 times, and each time whenever it get called, okay, map function whenever it will call, it will come with one particular element from the array. For example, let me write here. Okay. Now from the map function, from the item variable, map function is going to read element individual one by one, and it will split into 2 parts: item name and item index. Both are variable. Now when the map function will start executing, what it will do, from item array, the first element will go to the item name, that is called mouse, and the position of the first element will go to the index. Next we will print it, that we'll see. After that, again in the second iteration, from item array, second element, that is called keyboard, will go to the item name and their position will go to the index. Okay, in the third iteration, the mobile will go to the item name and their position will go to where? Index. It is going to read one by one from beginning. One by one from the beginning. And after that, we need to print it inside the browser. Print inside the browser. We can go here, we can use again fat arrow function, fat arrow method, and we can write here call return again, and inside the p tag you need to print the name of the element, that is called item name. JSX, maybe little confusion will happen. Few examples. Curly bracket inside curly bracket, why we are writing again and again. So it says like, first JavaScript you started, inside you wrote the JavaScript code, all condition and all you will apply, you will write here. After writing the code, at last you have to again print the HTML. So if you want to print the HTML, nothing to worry. Directly inside the return, you can write the HTML tag And once you write the HTML tag, means your HTML start here. Inside again, we have to use the variable. Again, the curly bracket needs to come. Because of that, I have used curly bracket inside the curly bracket. Save this and check in your browser. It will print you all the elements. Whichever the elements are available, all the elements will get printed. Right? Let us check once how it is going to come. See here, all is printed here. Mouse is printing 2 times because we have printed 2 times, one using the position, another one using the map directly. Let me know once, is it happening for you? Right? Anyone able to write it? Yeah, it's listed properly. Index, what is the meaning of index here? Why we are using the index? We are going to use that. We are going to discuss on that. Index will play the very important role here. Okay, then we'll move next. Check now, your data is coming here properly. Come to the book component. In book component also we'll use a map function and we'll try to read the data from the book file. I will send you this division to division in your chat. If anything wrong, you can use it. Now come to the book.js file. Inside the book.js file, again we'll create a constant variable only. book list equal to HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, React.js, Node.js. These all are the list of elements. We can print here book list colon book list dot length. Length should appear. This coming here. Book list 6. We can use a map function here again. Right here, book list dot map, name of the book, index of the book. Book name and index. Return paragraph. Inside the p tag, write again book name. You can print here book position also. So it will give 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, check now. Is it printing? 0, 1, 2, 3. List of the books. Plus here, list of the product. So this is happening using a simple map function. Not very tough. If you have gone through the JavaScript map function structure, you may remember it. So hope you are ready. It's working. Okay, cool then. Kasturi should share the number in the chat and share the contact number in the chat, and one more name is Kasturi only. Chandu P, right? We don't have your details, I guess. But Chandu and Kasturi, you both should share your number in the chat. Phone number. Please send your number in the chat. Okay, then we'll log in again tomorrow same time. Nowadays I'm getting late 5-10 minutes. Some problem is there. Okay.